Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at Magneto from the latest Marvel Legends Apocalypse Build-A-Figure wave. We have Magneto in the front window box. You got the Build-A-Figure logo for Apocalypse as well as the X logo at the top. On the sides we get some very cool artwork of Magneto. It's the same on both sides. On the back we get a very cool product shot along with all the other figures needed in this wave to complete the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure. And at the top we have the read-up. Living up to his namesake, Magneto is a master manipulator of magnetism, controlling and using its energy to defeat his enemies. And on the bottom you do have the UPC code there, so you can check with your local retailer to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at Magneto. And here is Magneto outside of his packaging, and definitely a very cool looking figure. I definitely like that we got a different costume. I wish I had the other one from the Jubilee wave that was the Toys R Us exclusive. Unfortunately, I did not get that wave, and it is way too expensive to get now. So it is cool that we get another Magneto figure, though, but we get it with the updated look here of this costume. And you get some cool effects with it, and you get the alternate head sculpt, which is pretty cool. So with that being said, we're going to get a better look here at the accessories that do come with Magneto, and then we're going to get a better look at Magneto himself. And out of the box, Magneto does come with these accessories you see here. Of course, the Build-A-Figure piece we will look at when we put Magneto together, and the alternate head sculpt we'll actually take a look when we do closer looks at the figure as well, because I want to get some detail on that. Which leaves us with an alternate pair of fisted hands that do not have the purple glow to them, and we get these lightning effects that we saw with some Thor figures and whatnot. They are made of a very flexible material and can move around, and yeah, they're purple. So I've not really seen his powers manifested or represented in the comic books this way. But I also haven't been reading too many of the later, newer comics, rather. So maybe there's been some artistic changes. As for the hands, though, it's pretty standard. Just pop off the hands that come with. And, of course, you can just pop that right on. And you do get the fisted hands. And then for the head, just like with any Marvel Legends, it does just pop off with the ball joint there. And maybe I can get it on. Well, it'll go on. I didn't hear the pop yet, but that'll go on. Well, like I say, we'll take a look at that when we do the closer looks, though. And also, the cape that comes with him is attached to the shoulder pad, so you can take the head off and remove the cape if you want, which has the red background, and then this, it's not black. It might look black. It's kind of a dark bluish, like a really dark blue, but the shoulder pads come with it, and he does have this little peg port that can go in the back to help keep it in place, and you just kind of bend it up, pop it in, and it does sort of float away from him, which is fine. A lot of poses for Magneto are going to be of him flying or walking, and his cape is usually shown sort of swaying back. And just in case you were wondering, like I was, taking Wonder Man's purple hands, which he has the fisted purple hands, what you'll see is it kind of fits in. It doesn't quite port in exactly the same, but it definitely works. If you did want to do a fisted purple hand, you can easily swap out. And with that being said, with Wonder Man, if you were looking for an open hand effect, let's see, yeah, that works for Wonder Man as well if you wanted to do some sort of open hand energy effect with Wonder Man. So yeah, that works well. And just in case you were wondering what those effects look like from Wonder Man with Magneto, here we have Wonder Man's little bubbly effects with Magneto. And yeah, I suppose it kind of works if you did want to interchange them. The color is definitely fine. It's pretty much a spot-on match. So if you did want to use them, you can. But let's go ahead and take a look now. We'll get the closer look at the figure and both head sculpts. So starting first with the unmasked head here, we get, I think, a very good looking head sculpt. However, I feel like it might be a little too big for this body. I don't know. It just feels like it's a little too big. But the sculpt itself looks great. The hair looks great. This is definitely, it makes me think of that X-Men number 1 and 2 back in the early 90s there, 92, the most famous X-Men comics, I think, ever, top selling anyway. But it's that long hair, and yeah, I think it looks great. The details on the face sculpt look, yeah, I think they look fantastic. Yeah, very good look. Let's go ahead and switch out now real quick to his helmeted look, though, and then we'll take a look at the rest of the figure. And here we have Magneto with his helmet back on, and again, very cool look. They looks like they probably just used the exact same head sculpt as the unmasked one, and just did the eyes with this purple. I don't know if you can see it. It has, yeah, purple outline there. So obviously he's, you know, using his powers and whatnot. And the helmet itself, this part at least, is a flexible material. This cheek feels like it's glued on, though. It doesn't go as far as that one. But yeah, the helmet is definitely very cool. It is not removable in any way, but it doesn't need to be. That's why they gave us the extra head sculpt. Looking down at the rest of the figure, the shoulder pads I think look cool. I kind of already showed the cape, but I love that we still get with this costume sort of those rivets or whatever you want to call it, which is sort of his iconic look back in, you know, his original costume. And I love how when they designed this costume, they kept that piece of it. And I know that wasn't necessarily Hasbro, that was obviously Marvel, but still very cool. Looking at the torso, so this is a body sculpt that we've seen before at least once. It is the same body as the Cosmic Spider-Man. I didn't really look and find too many others that shared the same body, but definitely been used at least once before. But we get some good articulation with it. The arm pads, I could not find somebody that used those, but I feel like those have probably been used before. And fisted hand looks fine. And glowing hand is that translucent purple, which is the same color and a color match for the Wonder Man figure we looked at. But the paint on the line work came out okay, except, you know, I got a little pocket right there where the paint didn't go in. Looks like it went fine on that side. And the boots, I couldn't find somebody that had the same boots either, but you know, these could be new gauntlet and new boots too. And the back of the figure, the line work does continue throughout the back and actually looks pretty clean. Not that you're going to be seeing too much of that if you have the cape on them. So, but yeah, overall, I think the body came out looking pretty good, and you know, it definitely fits the character. So taking a look at his scale, we can see that Magneto is coming in at almost 6.5 inches tall, which does put him in the taller range of some of the Marvel Legends figures. For the articulation, I did take the cape off just to show the full articulation, but you got a head that can look down pretty far. Can look up not too bad. Arms that do come up, and I will say that when you do have the cape on, these shoulder pads do tend to get in the way of some of that up and down articulation. But yeah, arms can come up pretty far. Oh boy, a little stiff joint there. Full rotation, which is great. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then both hands do come with a hinge that can rotate and, of course, go up and down. He does have pretty decent ab crunch forward. He's got really clicky ab crunch, too. That's something that I haven't seen lately. He does have waist rotation. His legs don't get too far apart. Can kick forward very far, kick backwards, basically non-existent. Does have upper thigh cut, double jointed knee. He does have a boot cut. And then, of course, he does have an ankle hinge and great ankle pivot. And for a quick size comparison, here we have Magneto standing next to Onslaught with the alternate head that we got from Kitty Pryde and the Jim Lee 90s version of Cyclops. And that about does it for this review, guys. And wanted to try recreating Magneto ripping out Wolverine's adamantium. So I got the 25th anniversary Toys R Us exclusive Wolverine there. And I kind of like the idea of using the effects on the figure itself that's being maybe manipulated by his powers. I think that's kind of a cool option that we get. And I'm using that Wonder Man effect with the Wonder Man fist there on the other side to kind of complete the look. And yeah, if you have a Wonder Man figure, I think this is going to open up some possibilities for you for some different dynamic posing and maybe something that doesn't look the same as what everybody else is going to have potentially. So overall, I think this is a great figure to get. I'm excited to finally add a Magneto to my collection. I just got to get an Xavier now. But overall, definitely, if you can find them out there in the wild, pick them up. If you get them in stock somewhere, snag them. Very good figure. But as I said, that is it for this review, guys. So if you like this video, please hit that like button down below. If you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe. And please leave a comment down below too. I always love to hear your guys' feedback on what you like or don't like about either the figure or the review, either way. But aside from that, again, thanks for watching the video and have a great day.